Yes. Hi. Good afternoon, good day, good evening, wherever you are in the world, you guys. This is Carol Machibula here saying hi, 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 hi. Yeah, my neck is getting better. Yes, I haven't been speaking to you for some time now because, as you all know, 2020 has been a nightmare for me, but yet very informative. I have learned a lot in this 2020. First of all, I have learned how to stay healthy in the midst of danger. Really, really. I don't know if I have succeeded yet. I don't know if I have won yet. As you can see, I'm holding my neck because there's this constant pressure that makes me struggle to breathe. And I don't know where it comes from, but I'm doing my level best to make sure that my neck remains as free from danger as possible. So this is 2020 for me. Now, where do I begin? Where do I begin? I haven't been with you guys for a long time because I do these things just when I feel like I need to express myself. Then I come in here, you guys. So sorry. It's not even about being followed. It's not about me creating lots of followers and etc. It's just about me saying my piece as I live in this planet. Now, 2020, 2020, 2020. We have had lots of things in 2020 that we never thought that we'll find ourselves exposed to. One of them being our health being put in a mercy of others, where they're telling us that some of us would live or die unless if we do point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then someone telling us that our lives, it's not in our hands unless if we do what they tell us to do. And then you start thinking to yourself, what the hell is going on? We are born with intelligence. We are born with awareness. We are born with, there is a sensor within us that it's naturally designed to protect us from the day one when we are born. Because I'm fascinated by life really, and I'm telling you this, guys, because 2020 has humbled me even more. I'm humbled. uh, 2020 has made me very, very, very terrified. 2020 has made me think of my death in a way I've never thought of my death. 2020 has made me feel as if I was closer to the doors of my dying than any year I have ever found myself in, and having to decide either I was afraid to die or either I was ready to die. And this is not where someone should find themselves in, where you're questioning yourself. Either either you have to make a decision to say, you know what, if anything happens, let it be. I'm just gonna go and there's nothing I can do. I came into that point. So now you can imagine how deep I was in this 2020 um secrecy of pain that human beings are finding themselves in. So from March on, when they started talking about coronavirus, I mean, I think it started in uh, early March. I was very involved in promoting, and probably that's what I did myself to put myself in trouble by, because they say when you focus your thoughts on something so much, it becomes your meditative state. And so I started advertising what was going on in China, because of I was really, really feeling for them, what they were going through. And I thought to myself, what I could only do, it's me at least sharing and see what we can do as a world to help China. And as I was sharing the things that were happening in China, it for me it looked far away. It looked like something that the Chinese were dealing with, and it's something that I thought that it would never come to the world. The fact that already the world has seen how China was struggling, the world would get hold of this. So it was something far, far, far. And that's who we are as human beings. We the big media, the big players in the media, they create a narrative, they create a story. And what we need to be aware as society, including myself, actually, really, I realize that it is very important for me not to share, especially when the story, it has been made bigger, because if its story it's bigger, one way or the other, it will affect your emotions, it will affect your sense of your mental. It will alter your tongue. You'll find yourself in conversations that does not even uh, that you don't belong to, because of the narrative has been made so big that we, the puppets, have to always follow. So I became a puppet of this narrative of coronavirus. Right. So I thought to myself, you know what? They will control it. Because there was a saying that when people come from China, whatever, these people would go under quarantine for 14 days, and everyone who had corona would be detained in a way, house arrest, I think, whatever not nonsense it is, and then there will be control. So you felt like, life it's normal as we know it, not knowing really that actually the nonsense was just beginning. So it started with the food and etc. And then it moved from the Chinese eating food into suddenly this thing was created in a lab in Wuhan, whatever the city in China there was. And suddenly you started hearing different narratives. And this is March though. So you're getting all different kinds of stories. And then there was no word conspiracy. It was just information being sent to us. You had to decide which information you take. So for me, I didn't really care about the lots of stories around it. I cared a lot about health, because health is something that I'm driven by. Health. I love when people are healthy. Now, and then the symptoms was very simple. The symptoms, you either had a high temperature, you had a sense of flu, and then if it was not flu, then it will end up into, what do you call this thing? Even with people with HIV, when things were higher, pneumonia. Pneumonia always comes with this nonsense. This all this crazy stuff that are happening. You always hear the word pneumonia, even with TB. When people used to suffer with TB in the 80s, when I was a little girl, when TB had peak on the highest scale of it, this pneumonia would come. So you knew anything that is associated with pneumonia, it's something that would kill people. So I thought to myself, my God, what a disease. And then suddenly they came house arrest. This I call it house arrest, really. This nonsense. They call it, what do you call it? Quarantine. Go under quarantine. So we all went under quarantine in the I think the third week of March. Third week of March, house arrest. I didn't go anywhere. I followed the rules. I thought to myself, especially after seeing what was happening to the people in China, you thought to yourself, my God, I don't want to experience that, because we don't know. And this thing, it's so big. There's massive scarcity and we're afraid. But me, on the other hand, in this under arrest, I experienced a whole different ball game. In my home, in my living home, where I didn't have visitors, I didn't have people coming in. It was only me and my friend and I are very, very conscious, especially about our health. My surprisingness was that as I was under arrest, suddenly the pattern of my home started changing. I started really in the night. Sometimes I would struggle with breathing, and I wondered, hold on a second, why am I struggling with the breathing? And I started doing things like meditation and doing things like self hypnosis, and to try to calm myself, because I thought maybe, but I was not even stressed about this coronavirus, because they've given us few things: wash your hands and wash your hands and wash your hands and wash your hands, and don't meet other people, stay away from friends and family. And I did that. But my I started breathing really bad every night. Sometimes it would get better. 3 nights I wouldn't struggle, but other nights I'll struggle. And I remember there was a time, I think after 2 weeks, me breathing this, suddenly I started feeling as if I've lost my saliva completely. And my throat was really, really, really on fire. As if my throat was cut into pieces. That's how it felt. And this was still very clear like this. But then what I decided to take garlic because I didn't know what it was. And whatever that it was eating this area. And my chest as well was getting really painful. You can see these marks. I thought to myself, hey, what the hell is going on? What the hell is going on? And every night, things will get worse. So I started moving from one room to another. Sometimes I would sleep in the living room. And one night I would sleep well. And then the second night I would sleep like crazy. And then I would go to the cellar. I even cleaned the cellar. So I bought a bed in the cellar so I could sleep in the cellar. But the cellar, as you know, they're normally very moist. There's this sense of claustrophobic when you sleep in the cellar. And I slept in the cellar well, but the claustrophobicness didn't allow me to sleep in the cellar. So I went up again. Now, sometimes suddenly this thing suddenly changed from me breathing something that I didn't know into something that I could actually say now these things are like molecules. Sometimes as I'm talking, something would come in my mouth as if it was a fly, some small flying thing. And after I swallow this thing, God, it will bend like crazy. And then so I'll find myself now holding and this thing was happening in my home, far away from me being in public. Far away, as I'm locking people away, I'm realizing that I'm struggling with these things. And so I started questioning myself, what the hell is happening? And as you can see how my neck remained raw for March, April, May, June, July, August, September. Only in September those wounds got gotten better because suddenly I started moving away from my home. But going back though, just to continue the story of my home from March, April, May, June. By June now, I was experiencing now not only the breath problem, I was experiencing electrical shocks, really massive electrical shocks I have never experienced in my life. This was now somewhere in I think end of May, June, and this electrical shocks started making my knees so painful. My joints were getting painful. My fingers were getting frozen. I would wake up in the morning, I wouldn't be able to fold my shoulders. And I'm thinking to myself, but what's going on? What's going on? Because of I'm not seeing anyone. I'm not seeing people out there, but I'm struggling with the symptoms of this coronavirus. And as you know, you guys, I'm one of those sisters who are very responsible. When I say I do things, and especially when it comes to my health. And of course, I eat healthy, and so I had to find ways to deal with this thing. And it was getting so much that I even had to make videos in the night showing people how I was suffering with this thing. And when you tell your friends what you're dealing with, because of they do not experience the same thing, somewhere, somehow, people looked at it as insane. You insane, Carol, because of they don't have corona. None of the people around me that I know are struggling with anything, as well. And here I'm talking about after the lockdown was freed, where we could see people. And of course, my friend William that I stay with, he was okay. I've seen people who are about 80 something years old, and I'm being sent to doctors for doctor to see what's going on with me. And doctors saying, Carol, you are healthy, like a horse. But when I touch my chest, especially now, yesterday I swallowed this thing again, and it always goes to my chest, and I have to massage it, and I have to. So, and my voice tone, it's not the tone as I know it. It sounds a little bit raffy, you know. And the pain went on and on and on and on. The electrifying us, this how do you call it, electrical waves that were coming into my body, as if it was impulse from I don't know. I have no clue what I have dealt with, you guys. And I hibernated because I was afraid. Suddenly I was afraid. As you can see now, I'm massaging myself here because yesterday I swallowed the biggest of these things that I normally swallow every night. And when I wake up in the night, my voice will be rough. As you can hear now, my voice is it's very rough, and I have to cleanse them. I have to take the lemon. And so my question is, as they're saying to us that there is coronavirus, what is coronavirus? What have I suffered with? There was a point in time where people classify me as insane. You are making things up. You are making it in your mind. You went to doctors. Doctor says you're okay. And we're living in a world that they say intelligency. Human beings are educated. Human beings are well spoken. Human beings has been to the best universities whatsoever. And you realize actually that the world is gullible, very gullible. What you do, what you feel as your own self, human, it's very important because you own your world, you own your experiences, you own what you're feeling. It does not matter what they can say, but what are you saying? In the midst of this, I started doing research. So I have a pigeon that came into my home, two pigeons. One of them came a little bit late. It was already well developed. And the other one came when it was a little bit smaller. So this one that came when it was already developed, its immune system, whatever that is, was already strong. And the one that came earlier, it's purely paralyzed because of this pigeon came in around March, around no beginning April. So today I've taken videos of this pigeon. It's purely paralyzed. When it has to walk to eat, or when it needs to fly, what it does, it just spins around. And the body, it's frozen like mummified. It's like it's mummified, alive. And that for me, I watched these pigeons going through that while I was going through what I was going through, because what I was going through myself, it's my bones who are being stiff, as if somebody has put wax inside of my knees. And every day I had to massage this wax and remove them out of my joints, my shoulders. My shoulders, I would wake up in the morning and it would feel as if really, really somebody took nails and nailed them so that they are not free. In my own home, in this house arrest that was supposed to be protecting me, I was experiencing these things. Interesting, isn't it? And they're saying, don't go to your work, be protective so we save your life. Don't see your family and friends, because if you see your family and friends, you're in danger. They select how many people you have to see at this moment in our lives. We were given 5 people. You had to see 5 people, and only those 5 people. They call it 5 bubble. They say don't go to work. You're not making money. Nobody is at the door. Nobody. The government didn't create a form of what do you call that? The people who could walk around and find out what people are doing, how people are dealing with this. Those who are not working. Now, the testing of this coronavirus, you had to pay to be tested. Now, what we need to do, we need to sit and wait for vaccine while our businesses has been stopped. My business, I have been work since March until now, and nobody gives you financials. You need to find your way. But okay, hold on a second. We are working on vaccine that's going to save your life. But your life, it does not only happen because of you need to breathe. Your life, you've got financials that you have to create to look after your family. You have to buy food to look after yourself. You have to. There's so you need family for you to stay strong. Churches were closed, and to cut the story short, as I was looking after this pigeon and myself, finding out how I can survive, I moved from one place. Lucky William, he's stable, and because of his stable, he could look after me. And he then got me hotels where I could go and at least to sleep. Getting to those guest houses, one guest house I stayed there for 7 days. First night, I slept well because probably I was tired. I don't know. The second night, I struggled with the same nonsense, the same swallowing things every night, every day. I've been swallowing things every day since March, you guys. As you can see, you see this here, this brown thing here. Every day I have to scoop that away so that it becomes light. Because if this does not become light, it affects me. And I don't know how much I'm affected in terms of my health, which this scare me. But I've always find a way to reduce it. So what I'm gonna do, because now it's getting darker, you see it's getting darker here and there. I'm gonna take a lemon. These are the scars of the past few months. So I have to take lemon there. And I find that in these places as well, moving from one place to another, I was struggling again with these electrical shocks. I was struggling again with this breathing things that comes into my mouth. And then I decided to go stay with a friend somewhere else, and finding myself still struggling with the same thing. The last hotel that I went to, which was about a few days ago, there I decided, I said to myself, Carol, break the fear, inform yourself of what are you dealing with in the night. And I really realized that I was dealing with waves. I was dealing with electrical waves. I don't know what it is. It comes in your blanket. It's like comes underneath the earth. What I find is that it's at some point in the night at 4 o'clock, there's a sound that goes like when you're doing microwave, when you're cooking something in your microwave and you have this sound. But this sound, it's very, 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 very light. You have to be very, very connected with your inner senses to feel these waves. And as these waves happens, the earth is shaken. Because of, as I was looking at the pigeon, I decided to sleep on the floor. I've got this thin mattress where I sleep on because I'm afraid on top. Because of, I feel like when I'm sleeping on top, that's when I swallow these bubbles more. So I slept down on the floor and nourishing the poor pigeon. I then discovered that the earth itself, when these waves goes around, it shakes. There's these impulses that are coming under the earth and everywhere. And this scares me to hell. And yes, people think you're crazy, Carol. And these are the things that makes me suffer. And this I just discovered it recently. So yesterday I decided to do something, to put lots of wood underneath my mattress, and put my mattress and put clothes and put something like a canvas. And I've got this big painting on top of me so I don't swallow this. Then I slept. I slept like an angel. For the first time, I slept with no pain. But the only thing that I did when I was lying on my bed on this wood, I felt my belly turning as if I've got constipation, as if I've got this air, like my system. So these impulses that are happening on the earth, these electrical shocks, for me, I'm not saying corona, it's not there really, but I'm saying I have experienced the same things as someone who have corona would experience, but I didn't have corona. I didn't see people. This thing started from within few days of house arrest in March. I started experiencing these things, and luckily, I'm a therapist. Luckily, I know the body. Luckily, I know the movement of the body. I know exactly what happens, which meridians get blocked when you're struggling with your neck, which meridians you have to tackle to unfold my chest. So my chest is free. Like for example, this now it's swollen. You can see this color. It's liquid reddish. You see there. And what I do, I hold that to open. And when I'm holding it, it feels like a wax, a wax, and it feels as if it freezes my blood. My blood gets frozen, and I have to unfroze this blood by working on it so I can dissolve it. And once I dissolve it, but it takes me, it makes me go through so much pain for me. So this is my experience, you guys, in 2020. We have coronavirus. We've got a government who cares for us, saying they care for us. We've got a government who's creating a vaccine so we can all live well and be healthy, and so that we don't die. And no, and everyone in this planet will have to take vaccine so that we can find ourselves well and healthy. While on the other hand, while we're waiting for this vaccine, we are hungry, we are confused, we are losing our businesses. Only those who the government supports people, but you have to be well registered with the government. You have to be, if you are independent, oh, sorry, we do not deal with you, my friend, because of you are independent. But on the other hand, the government is creating a vaccine that's going to save your life and live happily ever after. And and you really realize what a stupid world we live in. These so-called people who are saying they are looking after us, what is looking after us really? What will the vaccine do for us? Imagine if we didn't need vaccine, we just went on with our day, with our duties, looking after nature, doing the things that we think that we need to give to the earth. Because when you work, when you're doing something to the universe, like me being a therapist, I feel that it's my calling. That's what I need to give to the earth, for me being in this earth, for me doing the services that I do to the people. It serves me well with my people and with my world. That's my destiny. And my destiny is hold very tight, because of, I am told that if I don't do this, and it's very urgent, because if we do not take this vaccine, we're going to die. But we're dying already because we are not doing what we are supposed to be doing. Our passions, things that we love to do, we're not doing. We're not allowed to see our people. You can't travel. I wanted to go to South Africa so I could rest. You realize that only few days are given. Like now, I can't go to South Africa until October. So everything, it's designed to be, you are so controlled. You are so controlled. And even though you are ill, you are, let's say, for example, if I was alone and my friend was not here, where will I be? In the name of you getting vaccines so that you don't die, but everything around you, it's dead. This is my question, and I've got a right to question, because I'm affected. My livelihood that I created since I was 23 years old, it is completely in a limbo at this moment, not knowing, do I host my workshop? Do I promote? How are we gonna do? Fear than ever before, because the big brother, he's telling us what to do. They are telling, because of, they've got billions and billions, they're investing billions and billions and billions and billions into finding vaccine. They have invested zillions into installing G5, something, that 5G that we don't need. But our livelihood are hold tighter because of money controls. If you don't have money, oh, buzz off. You can go die. Who cares? But on the other hand, we care for you. We are designing a vaccine that will give you life. I think we are not so stupid as I don't know. I don't know. It's not that I'm questioning everyone. I'm not questioning the government. And if the government would get hold of this, I would say your plan is very gullible, Mr. Government. Your plan has put your people that you namingly saying to them you're in love with them and you put your interest first. It has destroyed their lives. Businesses have never closed so much. If you want to run a business at this moment, everybody say, oh, Carol, are you sure there's coronavirus? Are you sure that you're not going to be throwing money? So everything of our lives, it's not happening because the big brother says, I'm saving you. You are not allowed to gather together to pray. So that while we're waiting for this corona, while you guys are being sick, we can create the same way as we do in restaurants, distancing, and go to church so that you can nature one another. We wear this mask that depresses us to the core. It's like someone the hand on you, you can't breathe, and you just have to put that hand on you, and that's it. Because the big brother, it's telling you that my best is for you to live well, to get that vaccine so that you can live longer. Either you have food, I just want you to live well, live well. Either you have family, or I just want you to live well. Lock yourself in that room by yourself and wait for my vaccine. And then, hallelujah, life has begun. So it is me still struggling with this nonsense that I'm struggling with, and still asking myself questions and saying, what is this world about? Why do they think they own the world? Why really? Why some people, because of they have collected lots of mummified trees, I call money mummified trees. They've collected mathematics, numbers and numbers of mathematics, and because they think that they've got numbers 0, 0, 0, double 10 times 0 plus 10 times plus 10 times, and they think that by us having numbers, understanding mathematics and acquiring this mathematics in our fingers, in our banks where we are locking them, we can then come and tell you what to do, because of you do not understand mathematics. Now, because of you don't understand mathematics, you don't understand your life. Your life, it's not valuable. We don't value you because you don't have mummified trees. Your life, it's useless. We can do whatever we want with your life because we have numbers, because we're the masters of numbers. And with our numbers, we can create our technologies, and these technologies ever refining them into, what do you call that? Artificial intelligence. And we have the G5. We can move things by the fingers, and the world is better than we know it before. And then we can put thousands and thousands, 50,000 of satellites on the skies, for us to be able. We've got power. While Mother Nature is getting sicker and sicker. And then they talk about global warming. There was this little girl recently who was made very famous to awaken the world, because of the world. It's in the blink of dying because of what the world has made. Mother Nature is crying, global warming, global warming. While you're still looking at global warming, trying to be a good human being, what can I do to calm the anger from? And then voila, things like 5G are being presented to us, and Mother Nature cries in the night when you're sleeping. You can hear this. It's like mini. What do you call that? Not volcano, but what do you call the thing? Mini earthquake. When I'm sleeping in the night, this thing that it's entering my body, it waves as if it's a mini earthquake, but mini earthquake of electrical waves that are coming into your body, and it has a sound, zzz, and you're thinking, what the hell is going with human race? What the hell is going on with those who think that they have power over earth? You're putting us in danger. I'm not in the myth of conspiracy. I do not believe in any. I've never had these discussions before. I'm one of those who speaks about the community, the health, and we as society finding the way to get together to throw away our indifferences so that we can live in peace. But this nowadays, suddenly I find myself talking about artificial intelligence because it's affecting me. Talking about what do you call that? This 5G of yours that you have created. It is affecting our lives, and our livelihood has been taken away because you think you can. Because you think you can. And while you're holding our lives, you're also playing God that I will create something that will prolong your life. Carol here.